Now to the international press. Florence Villeminot has been thumbing through the international papers, so you don't have to. She's here in the studio now.
Hi, Catherine.
Hello there. We're going to start off with a story that, of course, is still dominating the headlines almost a week after it happened, the Lampedusa boat tragedy.
That's right. A lot of media is still focused on it, and there's this idea that it's not just an Italian problem, it's also a European problem as well. Let's take a look at a cartoon in the International Herald Tribune today by Chapat, which points this out. You can see migrants there swarming Lampedusa while an Italian police officer calls for help, and Europeans there on the other side looking with their binoculars saying, well, he seems to be drowning there.
Although Europe is looking to do something about this, as we've been reporting in the news. So we're going to see what suggestions they might come up with later on. We're going to stay in Europe for the next story, though. The Greek far-right party Golden Dawn in the spotlight after several of its leaders were arrested in the recent weeks.
That's right, and you can read all about it in the Greek press today. Ekatemirini, for instance, points out that now their finances are going to be investigated as well. Judges are trying to get help from the Financial Crime Squad and independent money laundering NGOs to gain access to bank accounts belonging to MPs of the Golden Dawn party. They're trying to find out whether the extreme right party has been operating as a criminal organization. And meanwhile, Libération takes a look at just how the Greek press is covering this story. It seems like the Greek press is really having a field day here, uncovering the hidden side of this extreme right party, leaking compromising documents and photos. For instance, one photo that's been going around is of Christos Papas. He's the number 2 in the party. It's a photo of him when he was younger doing a Nazi salute in front of a swastika. So Libération says that's right, the Greek press is trying to reveal the truth, the terrifying truth, as Libération calls it. But meanwhile, members of Golden Dawn, they're being very defiant. For instance, they've been telling judges that all that Nazi paraphernalia, well, it's just a collection to them.
OK, well, let's look across the Atlantic now to the United States. With the shutdown carrying on, of course, one of the big stumbling blocks to getting that resolved is the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare.
Obamacare, that's right. Now, a lot of media are focused on Obamacare, and specifically how hard it is to sign up, and they're poking fun at it. For instance, this is an article in the Daily Beast that comes back on the Daily Show with Jon Stewart. He grilled Kathleen Sebelius. She's the Health and Human Services Secretary, and according to the Daily Beast, well, her appearance was cringeworthy. For instance, he started out by challenging her, I'm going to try and download every movie on the internet, and you are going to try to sign up for Obamacare, and we'll see who gets there first, he said.
Now,
Slate's trying to figure out just what's wrong with the website. It's a pretty geeky article, but you can read it if you want to know just what's wrong with the healthcare.gov.
Is it not just too many people trying to sign up all at the same time?
It's too many people, but also a problem with what they call the server-side code that handles the registration process. So it's a code. I'm lost as well. So read the article if you want to know more. And the Washington Post points out that a lot of people were already warning the government that there were problems with the site before it was launched. So warnings from major insurers, state healthcare officials, and Democratic allies, but the government went ahead with the launch anyway.
OK, a problem with IT skills among US government workers, perhaps a problem with IT skills here in Europe, particularly where I'm from, a damning report about the United Kingdom's skills set.
That's right. This is from the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, so the OECD. It came out with a report yesterday on literacy and numeracy and IT skills. And so The Independent takes a closer look and wonders, is there a skills crisis? Because basically, today, 16 to 24-year-olds are less literate and numerate than their grandparents, so 55 to 65-year-olds. And this is something that's true in no other country, and this could have serious consequences for competitiveness in Britain. Now, let's take a closer look at the results. This is, you can see them here. Now, basically, they compare literacy and numeracy in a bunch of developed countries. England, France, and the US are below average in all categories. Japan is ranked highest amongst adults in terms of numeracy and literacy, and Finland and the Netherlands are up there as well.
OK, some interesting reading for teachers around the world there. Finally, this year's Nobel Prize in Physics has been awarded. It's gone to the scientist who identified the Higgs boson particle.
That's right, but where is he? Where is Peter Higgs? That's on the front page of The Guardian today. So the Edinburgh professor, he was jointly awarded this prize with a Belgian theorist, François Englert, but he's disappeared on vacation without a mobile phone.
Where's he peeping out from in that picture?
Apparently, maybe he's on vacation there. Apparently, he's trying to escape the inevitable media rush that comes with winning such a wonderful prize. But a lot of papers are paying tribute to him today. For instance, if you read the editorial in The Independent, they say that he really deserves this prize. He and his colleagues brought order to chaos with what's become known as the God particle. Thanks to their ingenuity, graft, and sheer brilliance, our understanding of the world has changed forever.
Maybe he can inspire some of those 16 to 24-year-olds who aren't doing their homework. Thanks very much, Florence Villeminot there, with a look through the international press here on France 24. Stay with us. Coming up in focus, more than 300 earthquakes have struck East Spain's coastline in under a month, and they're not a natural phenomenon. Our correspondents have been investigating the man-made cause of the problem and meeting some of those worried locals who are looking to their cash-strapped government for a solution. Do stay with us here on France 24.